Good morning. Been talking to you guys the last couple of weeks about salvation and righteousness, and I don't want any confusion about how I stand on meeting together, going to church. Now, the church is us believers. The ones sitting inside of that building, we are the church. And I know going to church doesn't save you. But what I do know is I know what Hebrews said about church. I think church is a great thing. And that gathering together, this is Hebrews 10:23 down through 25. And what it says is, so now wrap your hearts tightly around the hope that lives within us, knowing that God always keeps his promises. That hope that lives within us, that's Christ. Discover creative ways to encourage others and to motivate them towards active compassion. Doing beautiful works is expression of love. Our works should be expressions of love. Now, works doesn't get us to heaven, but once we step into the light, because Jesus Christ is the light, and once we step into that light, we should be able to have expressions of love. And we were called to be the light of the earth when Christ left. So, going down to verse 25, it says, this is not the time to pull away or neglect meeting together, as some have formed a habit of doing. In fact, we should come together even more frequently, eager to encourage and urge each other onward as we anticipate that dawning day. Now, gathering together, what we're doing, man, this world is tough. There's not anybody watching this, I don't think. There might be some, and bless you, if you've walked this earth for many years and it's easy and nothing's went wrong, that's great. But for the rest of us, life is tough. There's ups and downs, there's battles, there's hardships. That's true for believer or unbeliever. And that coming together, is the way Paul says renew our minds daily. And it's to come together to encourage each other. And we come together and encourage each other. And I know there's Christians sitting in church that ain't doing right. And I say that the ones sitting in church run more people away from God than anything on this earth. And I believe that. And I didn't go to church for a long time because of the people sitting inside. But what I know is, because I was worried about them judging me when I walked through the door, but what I was doing, I was judging them before I even went in. So in all honesty, it's a hypocrite. Because I'm judging them before I walk in. And we're not supposed to judge anyone. And what I say when we come together, what I encourage everybody is go to different churches in the area. Find you a home base that's preaching Christ. And we go into those places, we're carried in to encourage others. And one of the problems with Christians is we like to complain. We complain about the news. We complain about a lot of things. But we do very little to change any of it. And what I know is that starts at home. If we truly open ourselves up for Christ to come in and you see the love of the Father, and we start teaching that to our sons and our daughters, and we go out into the world, and we start in our home, and we start going out in this community and going into places. Guys, this is Philippians 2:14. It says, it's telling us Christians, live a cheerful life without complaining or division among yourselves. We have a lot of division in this world, a lot of different denominations. For then you will be seen as innocent, faultless, and pure children of God. Even though you live in the midst of a brutal and perverse culture, he was talking about back then, but look at today, brutal and perverse. For you will appear among them as shining lights in the universe. You know, Christ was the light of the earth, and he said when he left that we were gonna be the light, and his light is living in us. And when we go to church, there are people in there not doing right, but I mean, none of us truly are doing right. And we're called to be that light. Go into those situations, go into those places, and be the light, be different. If the world is looking at you and they still see the world, then are we truly doing it as Christ did? Because he was persecuted and killed. We were called to be a peculiar people. And by being a peculiar people, it's just not being picky. It's about being different. They should be able to see something about you. So what I'm saying is, don't forsake getting together. I get it. There's some churches, if that church isn't preaching Christ, if Jesus Christ is not the front and center of what they're preaching, the resurrection and the finished work of Christ and the love that God has for us, I encourage you to look around and find one that does. And when you find that home, we go in and we're meant to carry each other's burdens. And we're meant to go in to situations and bring a Christ-likeness to it. It's hard. I'm not saying this is easy, because it's hard for me. I have to get up and go to Him every morning, and still the world gets in. And still I battle things that I battle things. All of us do. I don't know a pastor out there that would tell you they did it, unless they're lying. Because we're in the world, but we're not of it. But life throws all sorts of curveballs at you. You're expecting a fastball, and it throws a changeup. It's just life. But what I'm calling on you to do is, let's start changing. Let's start changing this in our little. It starts in our home. If we truly learn who we are and whose we are, and we start that in our home, and it starts oozing out into our community, and this thing takes a grip, guys, as Christians, we can truly change this world instead of complaining about it. So I'm going to ask you today is to stay lit. Keep that light burning. Guys, I love you. More importantly, so does God. Thank you.